So multicast is basically used for one-to-many, as we all know. And multicast basically works in two different modes. That is sparse mode, and we basically make use of PIM protocol, that is protocol independent multicast. So PIM protocol is the industry standard protocol for hosting multicast on the network. And PIM works with the concept of sparse mode and the dense mode. Sparse mode is basically when we have less number of listeners on a particular multicast on a particular network, whereas dense mode is actually used when we have more number of listeners on a particular network. Nexus OS does not support dense mode, so we cannot configure dense mode on Nexus OS. We can only configure sparse mode. In sparse mode, we discussed about two types, that is PIM ASM and PIM SSM. That is any source multicast and source specific multicast. So any source multicast is basically when we are having the source and the destination unknown to each other. So source is not aware about the destination, or we can say the source or the host and the listeners, right? The guy who is hosting the multicast and the guys who are listening to multicast. The source and the listeners are not aware about each other. So in ASM, we basically make use of RP, rendezvous point. Rendezvous point is basically any of your networking device which supports multicast and which is having a handle reachability to the rest of the network. So RP is basically acting like a meeting point where the source will come and inform, listeners will come and inform, and that's how they will come to know about one another. So PIM ASM is a standard practice for deploying multicast. If you want to have a secure way of doing multicast, then we can make use of PIM SSM. So SSM is basically where we do not rely on RP. SSM stands for Source Specific Multicast, where we manually configure the source on the interested listeners, and they would directly reach out to the source router. So instead of relying on the RP for understanding who is the source for the multicast, we basically configure the source statically and we point to the PIM request